This just happened. Singapore's Straits Times Index is approaching its 2007 all-time high, and it's looking to break past that level. What's it being driven by? Basically, the Singapore banks, because they make up over 50% of the Straits Times Index. Here's why they're red hot right now. Investors in Singapore continue to love bank stocks, and that's driven the Straits Times Index up over 18% so far in 2024. Now, this has happened despite the fact that net interest margins for banks have actually stopped expanding, and that's because the Fed is starting to cut interest rates, which is technically bad for banks. However, that shortfall in interest rates is actually being made up for in other areas like wealth management, investment banking, and also credit cards. We're seeing that play out in real time for the Singapore banks and their latest earnings. If we look at OCBC's latest quarterly earnings, its non-interest income, which includes the likes of investment banking, wealth management, and credit cards, was up 41% year on year versus a slight decline for its net interest income. The same goes for DBS. Even though it only managed to grow its net interest income by just over 2.5% in Q3, it managed to grow its non-interest income by close to 28% year on year. And what's driving that broader growth in wealth management fees for the Singapore banks? Well, people are increasingly parking their assets in Singapore, and they're either buying products or paying a fee for people to manage their money, and that's benefiting Singapore banks. Finally, we have dividends. If you look at the latest Singapore 6-month T-bill offering, it was around 3%. And if you look at Singapore banks' dividend yields, are around 4.9 to 5.5% based on this year's dividends, and with the potential for that to grow next year. For more personal finance and investing tips, just follow me and also subscribe to my weekly newsletter at timtalksmoney.com, where I'll dive into this topic in more detail this weekend.